Hello and welcome to Moore's Park. Today will be the last installment on cuttings. This is part 3 of cuttings. And I wanted to discuss 2 more ways that pretty much I just learned about within the last year or so. Now this is by Euphorbia turricale. This is what they know as the pencil plant, pencil tree. I got this from Katie of Katie's Creations. And it's doing very well. It's growing, doing pretty good. Now the original story in this plant, the original cutting, the very original cutting on this particular plant, not all of them, but this particular plant, was a small piece that was actually smuggled back from Africa in the hem of a dress by a lady. Katie got her tree from this lady, and then Katie started these for me. And that's what I want to discuss, is how she started these. I never knew you could actually do this. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't have thought this at all. But guess what? She rooted these in water. That's right, a euphorbia rooted in water. And I never would have thought this. I would have thought, no way. That would have rotted. But yes, this plant was in a bucket of water when she gave it to me. Had a big, fine set of roots on all the cuttings. There was like 3 or 4 cuttings. Had huge sets of roots on them. And I thought, well, maybe she just had it in some soil and wanted to keep the pot. So she washed off the soil and stuck them in some water. No, she actually rooted them in the water. So yes, you can take one of these cuttings and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either cut it off, and when you cut it off, make sure you wash it off like I told you before. Take a little spray bottle, wash the sap off. And you can either just set it in the water at that point, set it in a little cup of water, glass of water or anything, container, and try it that way. And if you want to do it in a little experiment, take one off, let it dry for a couple days, and try it that way too. Just remember to wash the sap off each time. But yes, you can root Euphorbia turricale in water. Pretty amazing, I think. It seems though euphorbias don't take well to being set in water for the most part. But this plant family is so varied that there's just no telling how you can start a lot of these. But with this one, you can either do it in soil. You can take these little cuttings off, let them dry, and stick them down in soil and keep them watered, and they'll root up. Or you can root them in water. Quite amazing. But anyways, that's my first other method of part 3 to show you. And I'll show you another plant that you can do something else with. Now many of you have seen, hi Diesel, how you doing? My dog Diesel. Now many of you have seen this particular euphorbia, and I've showed many of you. This is my Euphorbia zigzag. It's a hybrid between Euphorbia pseudocactus and Euphorbia grandicornis. And so it looks kind of like a little miniature grandicornis with all the little wicked thorns and all the twisty stems. Really cool, wavy, twisty looking stems. But anyways, you can either do this one, you can take a branch cutting and do the 2-step method as I've showed earlier with the Evansii cuttings, or you can do what they call offset cuttings. And what this involves is, as you see, this is a main head. This is a main stem. Only the main stems will produce normal plants. Or if you have to do the 2-step cutting method and get these main stems. But I found out just about a week ago how to propagate these using cuttings of main stems. And with this one, as you see, it goes right there. There's the branch where it starts, and it comes up right there, and then comes out to this main stem. And it's got these main stems all over it. There's one down there. There's another one right down here. See there? And they grow all out from these main stems. So if you really wanted another plant that was actually good size and perfect shape and didn't want to wait for the 2-step cutting method, this is a pretty fast way to get a normal plant from a zigzag. Because if you just plant the regular cutting of this, a branch cutting, you're just going to get a branch cutting that just comes up real tall, and it's not going to have this nice candelabra look to it, as you see here. Diesel really wants to play. You see this candelabra look it's got, and that's the normal form. That's the way you want it to look, not a kind of tall, disjointed plant. And the branch cutting will never be anything unless you either do a 2-step or do these main stem cuttings that you see here. You see that down there where it's producing the small stems and everything down in there. See, it gets them all over the place. It's got another one, I think, down in here that's hidden. One there, where they're all coming out. But yeah, you can just take, if you can get back to it, like I just showed you on this one, you could actually cut this head off back at that little branch. And what I would do is take, and this first segment right here, I would cut it off right here. Cut it off there, let it dry for a few days. A week to 2 weeks is actually even better. These won't shrivel up or anything. And I imagine if you just left it on the bench, it would probably almost root by itself. But just take that main stem cutting and you'll have yourself a normal plant instantly. All you have to do is wait for it to root. Anyhow, that's just what I wanted to tell you about today and wrap up this propagation video. I hope you enjoyed everything that I've put out there, and I hope you're able to use a lot of these methods that I put out there. So anyway, this is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. Ooh, that's wicked. I hope you're having a great day. I've had a pretty good day. Take care, and stay tuned for more Euphorbia 101. Bye-bye. Actually, before I go, I just want to show you something. I just remembered this as I closed off. These are two other Euphorbias you can do this with the side cuttings. And if you look, see a little side branch there, and it raises up, and it's producing those little branches out like that, but it's coming from the base. That's also a side shoot like that. You get a normal plant off of this without having to do the two-step, or you can do the two-step. This is Euphorbia brevitorta, and you see it's got those little offsets like that, and you can propagate from that. Also, Euphorbia enormis does the same thing. Let me turn this around. If you look, it's got these little side shoots here and here. You can actually remove one of those, dry it out, and root them as a cutting, just like you do the zigzag. Anyhow, I really am going to wrap it up this time. All of you take care, have a great evening, and have fun propagating your euphorbias. Bye-bye.